Hello everybody and welcome here to the first ever official qualifying session for Season 1 of the Bodyarmor Cup Series. We're here tonight for our first race of the season, not a points paying race. This is the first ever Body Armor Bash. It's going to be a 25 lap shootout here tonight at Daytona under the lights. All 32 drivers entered, as this is our only first season, so figure why not just bring everybody along. I am joined here alongside tonight our man himself, Napa fan Benny Watson, joining me in the booth for the call tonight's race. And as these drivers hit the track, what would you say? First ever race here, new series, new cars. What do you say we're looking for tonight?
I mean, it's going to be a fun race. This is, of course, Speedway Physics Daytona, so that outside lane's going to kick in. Obviously, it's the NOFSRL version. We got all the logos from Speed Weeks a couple months ago on this version of the racetrack, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think the big thing is this is the first time I'm going to really see the ICR mod in action, so that's really where it gets interesting for these guys, because it's a completely different car than a lot of these guys are used to. Of course, a few of these guys are in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and a few of them are in the New Era Cup Series as well, so they have NOFSRL experience. On the flip side, a lot of these guys are relatively new guys to the NOFSRL, so it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out here, but it's going to be a fun race to kick this whole series off. I'm definitely looking forward to see how it all goes down, and we got a solid group of guys here who are going to be racing here tonight in the Body Armor Bash.
Now, definitely should be an exciting race tonight. Short, but it will be exciting, as it always is under the lights here at Daytona. Josh Williamson out here for his... Actually, this is his first lap. He already completed his flying lap as he was first out of the pits. And it's going to be interesting, too, because keep in mind, so tonight is June the 4th. Keep in mind, not next week, but in, I believe, 2 weeks, we will be back here. And we will be back here. Going to be a double-header sort of weekend. The Grand Prix, the Rolex Grand Prix of Daytona on the road course will be running, and then we'll be coming back that Wednesday night to run the Daytona 500 under the lights, prime time Wednesday. So you think there's anything these guys will learn from that to carry over, or is this just a throwaway, let's go out there and see what we can do tonight?
Well, I mean, these guys are definitely going to have a lot of experience on the night version of Daytona, and they're going to definitely get a good feel for their cars in a very similar setting for the Daytona 500. So definitely looking forward to see how these guys maneuver this race, because I think what we're going to see in tonight's event is going to be a lot of what we're going to see a couple weeks from now in the Daytona 500.
Should definitely be exciting. Taking a look at the leaderboard, who do we got here? So let's take a look. 22:53. So let's take a look here at the leaderboard tonight here as they stand with 6 minutes to go. Brock Nelson is P1 right now, wherever he is in that Ralphin Motorsports Dodge. Or is he? Looks like he might be in the pits right there. He is in the Mopar scheme. Oh, I take that back. Thomas Troxel in the 53 just jumped back up to the top of the leaderboard in the 53 as Josh Williamson. So we got Josh Williamson and Bronson Minnick in the 12. Nathan Faden, not Nathan Faden, my bad. Dylan Wilson in the 97. A bunch of guys who were fast in preseason Thunder earlier this week, if you hadn't seen that already. Let's just see as they come across the line. Zachary Fitzwater. And we got a lot of guys showing out here for this series. Definitely a good turnout. Even though it's only a 32-car series, we definitely have a pretty strong driver lineup here for this year.
Yeah, guys that I really look at, Alexander Rowe, who won the Daytona 500 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series earlier this year. I definitely look at Iquan Haslam. I mean, he's a rookie driver in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but he has definitely shown a lot of strength. Won a race over there back in March. Davey Johnson's in this series. Thomas Troxel, like you mentioned, is a very solid driver. Dale Lightning, Ryan Durrani, a couple of rookies to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Nathan Faden, Justin Zidell, a couple of long-time veterans of the NOFSRL, but I'm kind of leading into it here. The 08 of Zachary Fitzwater is the guy to beat, I think, this season. He's Zachary Fitzwater. He's won more races in offline in 2003 than anybody else. I would definitely watch out for him, but also watch out as well for Patrick Smith. He's another guy who has been around in the NOFSRL for quite some time, and great to see him make his start in the debut of this series.
No, definitely good turnout here. Taking a look here, who do we got sitting here? So, 79 car, Robbie Noonan sitting on the provisional pole right now. great to see him out here. Bronson Minnick in the 12. He sits at P2. See Robbie Noonan right there tagging in behind the Giraffe, sitting behind Arthur Xavier. Should be interesting. Davey Johnson in the Pokemon car there. He's going to be fun to watch out for tonight. Just see ticking across here. Going to be less than 4 minutes to go soon here as most of these guys come to the line. Now when you're starting... Oh, hold on. I believe we have...
54 has gone to the top of the board.
54, Kelly Rhodes is up there. I believe that's Kelly Rhodes' first NOFSRL start. I could be wrong. Who else do we got?
Yeah, I do believe so. So, like, that's what I was mentioning earlier on. We have a few guys in this series. It's their first ever start in the NOFSRL, and obviously you got guys like Fitzwater. So it's a very interesting group of guys here for the Bodyarmor Cup Series.
Take a look here through the field. Kelly Rhodes still out front. 79, Robbie Noonan still P2 for now. Oh, hold on, and we got another swap at the top of the leaderboard. Dustin Davis to the top of the leaderboard. Got Christian Russell there. He was fastest in preseason Thunder earlier this week, Sunday. So he'll be one to watch out for. Who else do we got? Usman Hamid also is tied for fastest in preseason Thunder. 3:15 to go here in the first qualifying session for tonight's race.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the race goes down tonight. I think that's definitely where it's going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter too much where you start for this one because it's Daytona. It's a super speedway. You can move your way through the field pretty easily here. But I'm definitely looking forward to see how it all goes down tonight. It should be a really exhilarating 25-lap race.
Definitely will be. Interesting to see how the manufacturer deployment went out when we were establishing this. You got a lot of Toyotas, a lot of Dodges, but interesting mix too. You got the Holdens from Trans-Tasman Racing and Beast Racing. Who else do we got here for new manufacturers? Mercedes-Benz from Polestar Motorsports. I don't remember where they... Right there. So we've got the Polestar Motorsports Mercedes-Benz entries. You got, who we got here? We've got the 48 Thomas Lipscomb. He's going to be one to watch out for. Chase Buck, his teammate. Only Mercedes in the field. And back here we also have the long-awaited return of Pontiac. Ryan Durrani, Casey Clifton going to be carrying the banner, splitting that with EEL Racing. They're also bringing Pontiac back. Just very interesting, see a lot of diversity in the field. Still got the Toyota, still got the Dodges, but an interesting mix of, new manufacturers blending into the NOFSRL. Let's see here. So this 70 car right here, he is sitting right in a good spot right here. So you got Dustin Davis sitting in a nice spot to keep clicking off fast laps, tagging behind Josh Williamson. And then it's the 3 car, Christopher Alphabee sitting P2 for Patrick Star Racing. Got the 11, Patrick Smith, 54, Kelly Rhodes, 84. As we were mentioning, Chase Buck. Let's see if anyone breaks under the 42 mark here. One minute to go. Dustin Davis still atop the leaderboard. Guys, I'm going to try and squeeze one more lap out here for the clock, but Dustin Davis even faster that lap. 40.124, 55. And Davey Johnson moved up in a second. Let's see here. Now, is this a race? I mean, it's definitely at Daytona. We obviously all know what it's known for, the huge crashes. Would you say, is there a preferred spot you want to start this race at when you come to Daytona? Oh, hold on. Technical difficulties. Alright, let's see. 14 seconds to go. Figures it's going to be at the line. 79.
Up front. Definitely. If you're in the back for this race, especially early on, you might not be able to avoid it if a wreck happens. This happened very early here at Daytona, but Yeah, if you start up front and stay up front, stay in one of the top 2 positions, which is something we could possibly see in tonight's race, I definitely think you're going to have a good shot at avoiding a wreck later on down the road.
Definitely. So, 19 seconds to go. I figure that's most of these guys' last lap. Let's see, 70 car. Dustin Davis, Robbie Noonan, Davey Johnson, Christopher Alphaby. I think that's going to do it for most of these guys. Coming to the line, this should be it for just about everybody. Let's see, anybody going to take one last shot at the top of the leaderboard? Nope, Dustin Davis coming in. Oh, no, got held up a bit. Can anybody get there? I don't think so. No? That should do it. Alrighty. So, that does it for qualifying.
To your cars.
And we will be, that does it for qualifying. Dustin Davis, Robbie Noonan, Davey Johnson starting up front, and we will see you. We will be right back after this break here with bringing the action for tonight's race.
It's showtime at Homestead, Miami.
Andre Baranowskis at the line, steals it in the Indy 250.
Gordon, his back in trouble, let it go. Gordon to the wall, jumps right around.
Side by side on the final lap, coming to the checkered flag.
Steve Morgan, the last lap now, and the victory in Las Vegas.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
And welcome back here to the Daytona International Speedway here we have qualified now, set the field for tonight's first ever race here, the Bodyarmor Cup Series, the Bodyarmor Bash tonight. 25 laps under the lights here. Napa going to be exciting here. Got to kick this series off here the right way under the lights at Daytona.
Yeah, this is your little equivalent of the Meliello Smooth Fest, which you see the logo there, the bottom right corner. But yeah, it's going to be a fun one. All 32 drivers are in this race, so they're going to get to know each other, get to know how they drive in this one, and I'm looking forward to see who gets it done. I mean, it's anybody's game when we come to Daytona.
No, it definitely should be very exciting. No pit stops tonight, just a 25-lap sprint race. Going to be interesting to see, how these guys race. Will they race clean? Will they get aggressive? Pace car rolls off here as the engines are already fired. Take a look here at some of as the lineup is on the left-hand side of your screen. Take a look here through some of the top 10 here in the starting lineup. Dustin Davis on the pole in the 70 car. Alongside him, Robbie Noonan in the 79. Who else we got right here? Christopher Alphaby in the 3. Davey Johnson in the 55. 54, Kelly Rhodes. The 11, Patrick Smith. We got Josh Williamson in the 25, one of 2 Mercedes in the field, Chase Buck in the 84, Alexander Rowe, and alongside him, Igor Barreto. That makes up your top 10. See the rest of the lineup alongside your leaderboard. 25 laps tonight under the lights should be a good one. Who would you say you're looking out for here tonight in this race?
I mean, I'm not trying to be biased here, but driving for my team there on the outside pole, Robbie Noonan. Obviously, he's a very popular guy here, driving in this series, and he's driving for my team. And that 79 Hertz Toyota is it's a fast machine. I know that much for sure. So I'm looking at Robbie Noonan possibly winning this one here tonight in the Bodyarmor Bash.
Should be an exciting one. Definitely he'll be one to watch for. A ton of offline experience here for him, but a lot of guys in this field here. Should definitely be a very exciting race here tonight before we hit New Smyrna next week for that, and that is going to be to officially kick off the season. That should definitely be an exciting one when we do get down there. But here we go. Pace car is about to make that hard left-hand turn down the pit road. And see, once he pulls off, be Dustin Davis, Robbie Noonan, leading them to the green for the first ever race in the Bodyarmor Cup Series. And let's get Florida Speed Week started the right way. Dustin Davis leads us. Lap number 1 in the books. At the line, Robbie Noonan edges out Dustin Davis there for the lead to lead lap number 1. But boy, oh boy, you want to talk about stacking it up right behind these guys. They are going 3 by 3 wide, and it is getting all sorts of dicey here in the middle of this pack early on in the going.
Yeah, this is the Speedway physics version of Daytona, and that outside lane works out pretty well, and when that outside lane is working, you get some pretty good racing. It's not a cycle race here at this version of Daytona. If I do say so myself, it's the best version of Daytona in Inter 2003.
Should definitely produce some exciting racing here tonight. Guys making a lot of moves early, trying to make up all that track position you can on that initial start. Robbie Noonan with a strong initial lap there. He leads his second lap, leads lap number 2 now. Got Christopher Alphaby lined up behind him. Dustin Davis, Chase Brown, Davey Johnson, Kelly Rhodes. Boy, oh boy, it is getting all sorts of spicy here in the back of the field. You got that middle lane. We're trying to bring that middle lane along quickly here, which is always interesting to see how it develops, because we all know what can happen. You know, if you push that middle lane and somebody tries to split a hole, things can get very dicey very quickly here.
Yeah, and Noonan here, he's pulling out to a pretty big lead, but they're going 3 wide for a second now. Eventually they're going to catch up to him, but the big question is, will they be able to pass him with them going 3 wide like this? This is exactly what Noonan wants to see in his rearview mirror.
This is definitely the preferred start you'd want to see if you're Robbie Noonan right now. Just watching every lane, taking it as you can. Chase Buck in the Mercedes. Looks like he's going to get a run down to the inside. He's going to get Mercedes up front to the lead here. He's got help from the 69 of Keegan Thompson. Now he'll slide up into that middle lane. Keegan Thompson on the bottom. Robbie Noonan, Christopher Alphaby on the top side here. As they come around turn number 4 here. Keegan Thompson looking down low, trying to see if he can get a push there from the 16 car of Arthur Xavier. But at the line, it's going to be on the outside again. Robbie Noonan powering forward there on the outside, leading his 5th lap here of the race today.
Yeah, Noonan's definitely got that outside lane figured out. Of course, Chase Buck had a run to the inside, but lost a little bit of help behind him, and this is one of those places where you do need help. If you're going to be going a little bit faster than another guy, it's good to have someone right on your back bumper, and you see those guys on the inside. Keegan Thompson, and he keeps on peeking out to the inside of Chase Buck right there, and that's allowing that outside lane to get a better advantage down the backstretch.
Definitely got a lot of cars, a lot of Toyotas there lined up on the bottom. See back up front for the lead, going to be Robbie Noonan again at the stripe, I believe. Yes, it is. Give him the lead. Still has led every lap here so far, starting from that initial outside of row number 1. Chase Buck trying to put the German manufacturer Mercedes to the point here. Just can't get that help in the middle lane there. The inside lane seems to be moving along until you get out to the front, and then it just can't get anything going. But it's the same with that middle lane too. Just that nobody seems to be fully grouped up there in the middle of the track yet, and just cannot get a run around that outside car yet.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, it's because that inside lane continues to try to make moves on the inside of the inside lane. Outside lane's much better formed up right now, and that's why they currently have the advantage. But that 84's trying. He couldn't lead that lap, but Chase Buck definitely trying on Robbie Noonan there for the race lead. He may get him next time around.
Chase Buck in the Polestar Motorsports Mercedes, one of the only two Mercedes entries in the field, both out of Polestar Racing stable. He's looking strong so far here tonight. You got the 16 car, the return of the Silver Bullet to Daytona down on the bottom. That's Arthur Xavier. He's looking strong. Really going. He's trying to push Chase Buck to the lead here. Chase Buck getting a good run on the inside there that lap, but not quite enough. At the stripe, it's still Robbie Noonan. He leads yet another lap here. Oh, hold on.
Now that was. Oh wait, yeah.
That was Robbie Noonan again. Led every lap so far. I don't think that's going to stay though. Arthur Xavier to the inside.
Now that Xavier's got that run on the inside, I think he's definitely going to power it on the inside, because that definitely got the 2 outside lanes a little squirrely, and I'll see if Noonan can get that outside and work down the backstretch though, but that middle lane's going to fall back.
Kind of sucker hold here right there. 38 behind 16 there. Oh, and slide Arthur Xavier up to the lead here. New leader at the stripe, lap now 8 laps down in the books. Arthur Xavier, first lead change of the night. Another Toyota. They're definitely having got 10 Toyotas in this field. Definitely a pretty strong outing for them this year. See on the bottom, looking to see return of Pontiac here into the racing world. See, we've got the 38 car down on the bottom. That's Ryan Durrani in the American Motorsports machine. Got a good run there on the bottom. Let's see if he gets the lead. We've got the 2 Stewart. Oh, they're getting... Oh.
And they're going to have room to figure that out, but that was a close one right there. And of course, you know, if you go 4 wide here, that's pretty much it. You're going to get sent to the wall. So thankfully they figured that one out, but they got to be careful not to do that again, because odds are they probably will. But if they do it that far up through the field, it's going to be a big wreck.
You can only test fate so many times here at Daytona. It will always find a way. It will always find a way to get you here, no matter how many times you test it. But up front here, we've got take a run through the field here as we're about 10 laps into this race. Ryan Durrani leading currently. And then you got Chase Buck, Arthur Xavier, Brandon Nelson, Robbie Noonan. Kind of fell off just a touch there, but he's still maintaining in 4th position as they're single file, starting to space out here at the front of the field. Chase Buck with a big run on that 38 Pontiac. It's 38 there, Durrani. Now a 16 car, Arthur Xavier. He wants to look to the inside. I don't know if I would do that right there without any help, but you got to give the man credit. He's going for it now. Looks like Robbie Noonan, where's he going to go? Sticks to the outside, stays behind Chase Buck for now. 18 car also sliding up there. Brandon Nelson going to the top, so just shuffling around here. Everybody's single file, kind of weird how they got a little odd here. You know, they got spaced out here, just a touch in between them at the front. And that's allowed these 3 drivers right here, Durrani, Buck, and Noonan, to space out the field. Now Robbie Noonan's trying to gun for the inside of Chase Buck, see if he can make something happen. They still remain 3 by 3 behind. They show no signs of letting up here.
Yeah, and Noonan might actually be able to make this pass, because there's nobody to the back bumper of Chase Buck right there. And with all those guys as far behind as they are, I think Noonan might actually get the advantage. But then again, even without any help, you get a good run on that outside lane off of turn number 2. So you're going to see Chase Buck stay side by side, but that brought in all these other guys from the back of the pack, and Noonan might get the advantage on the inside here.
Strong run on the bottom lane there. Robbie Noonan definitely showing a strong car here tonight in the early going. Brandon Nelson, Arthur Xavier, Chase Buck also looking fast. Out front though, still the 38 Ryan Durrani. It will start toning down just a little bit behind him. Not nearly as much 3 wide, mostly 2 by 2 here at the moment, but still up front. It's Durrani, it's Noonan. He's going to look to the inside, see if he can try and drag that inside lane. He's got 2 Toyotas lined up behind him. See if he can make something happen there. And behind them, starting to get back in. As soon as we say they're calming down a bit, you got the 22 car, Brock Nelson, and the 72 car of Equan Haslam starting to make it 3 wide, but here they go at the stripe. 38 of Durrani still leads, but Robbie Noonan's getting those guys on the bottom organized a bit, and they are definitely starting to close that lead down. See if he can make the pass here. Strong run on the bottom with the push from Xavier. Not quite going to clear him off at 2, but he's going to have a good shot to do it down the backstretch.
Yeah, that 79 might have one of the strongest cars in this field. I remember just a few laps ago was around the 5th position. He got back around to that inside lane, and now he's battling for the race lead. Xavier's going to shuffle to the middle, and here comes Brock Nelson to the inside 3 wide. He may also try to get a run on Noonan for the race lead. Not going to quite get it. And how can we not mention our guy, Zachary Fitzwater? I mean, this guy, he's Fitzy. That's just all there is to it. Don't mess with him. He's coming on an inside lane there in the 08 machine.
He's coming there on the bottom. Dodge is starting to make a move to the front here. A lot of them sat in the back for the early parts of this race. You see the 22 Brock Nelson, Zachary Fitzwater on the bottom here. Got help from the 61 of Christian Russo, who was fastest in preseason Thunder earlier this week. And now the 22 car, Brock Nelson, Ryan Durrani. Gotta be wondering what's going through his head right now. He's got the lead, but he sees a bunch of fast cars coming. Brock Nelson with a big run there, all the way back up to the bumper. Is he going to be able to make the pass? Not at the stripe, but he's going to have help from Noonan. Now let's see if Noonan gets down to the bottom.
He's got a huge run there.
It's a
Noonan's going to go with him. I think Brock Nelson's going to take this one away.
put the 22 car. So now we've got the Mopar of Brock Nelson out in front for Ralphin Motorsports there. Got a new leader up here at the front of Daytona. He's got Durrani behind him. They are still side by side. Got guys squeezing up through the field, trying to make that last gap push here to the front. Under 10 laps to go. Durrani right up to the back bumper.
Christian Russell's almost in a 4-wide situation there, and I thought he was going to do it, but he kept it down. Patrick Smith almost got to the inside of him in the back of the field, but look at the top two. They pulled away. Durrani wants this race victory, and he wants to push Brock Nelson away from everybody else, so he doesn't have to worry about the rest of the field.
Well, it's going to be interesting, too, because if you're sitting there, Brock Nelson, Ryan Durrani, and you get side by side with no help behind, I mean, you're sitting there. If you're Zachary Fitzwater, if you're Robbie Noonan, you have to be absolutely loving this, because all it takes is these two to go side by side, break the momentum, and then this pack is right back on top of them.
Watch out for the 11 there. There it is. I think that might be our wreck. Christian Russell, 61.07. Oh, wow. They did a good job. Russell had to run on the outside, was able to clear the 11 machine there, so got to give those guys a lot of credit, but that is not to say they cannot go for wide. They've come close a few times. We may end up cost-free tonight, but I don't know about a couple weeks from now with the Daytona 500.
I don't know. I agree with that there. Patrick Smith playing the veteran move, backing out of it. Christian Russell, he's been fast since we unloaded here. Got to, sitting there. He started in the back of the pack, has worked his way methodically through the front. Laps tick down. You can tell he's getting aggressive. Man, Patrick Smith, he wants to make something happen there, and he just doesn't quite have enough speed, doesn't have quite enough to get to the bottom there, nor probably should he. As they sit there, they're getting all stacked up in the middle. You wonder if that's a ticking time bomb, but at the front, it is Brock Nelson, it is Ryan Durrani, Robbie Noonan, Chase Buck, Zachary Fitzwater, single file, the top three-ish. It's going to be interesting to see. Brock Nelson lead him all over, a little bit inside, mostly topside. See if he can hold off. If this, if somebody can get organized back here, it'll be interesting to see how these final couple laps unfold. Durrani to the inside. Where will Chase Buck go? Side by side, 2, 3, and 4. And let's see here, coming to the line. Durrani's not going to have enough of a run. Chase Buck going to go with Brock Nelson. Give the 22 car another lap led. They are getting all stacked up behind them. Robbie Noonan leading the push there from this pack. He's all up close to the back bumper of Chase Buck. Let's see where he goes. They're going to get side by side. They're getting really dicey in the back. Zachary Fitzwater.
I find it intriguing that we've seen the same few guys up front in this race, but they haven't been in the same positions all night. They are literally going all over the place here. And, starting to spread out just a little bit. And look at that lead Brock Nelson has. That is not what you want. Because those guys are going to find a way around you if you get that much of a gap on them because of the draft.
No, this is not the position you want to be in right now. If you were Brock Nelson, a sitting duck at the front of the field. But he's shown a strong car here up in clean air. Gotta wonder, is somebody going to get organized behind him? Laps are ticking down. We are on lap 21 to 25. They are ticking laps down here quickly. Surprisingly, caution-free race. They've been very aggressive. We've seen a lot of guys, mostly the same guys up front as Durrani goes to the inside. Mostly the same guys up front, but you got to give them credit. I mean, they've kept it about as clean as you possibly can. Up front, Durrani's looking to the inside. Is he gonna have enough at the stripe?
He's not going to be able to clear. And I think that's going to bring everyone else behind them right back into this race lead. Watch out for the 07 of Scott Upton. Really haven't seen much of him in this race, and I think we are now in the threshold. If we get a caution, that the race is going to end, because under this format, if a caution comes out with 3 laps to go, the race is over. But if it's in the middle of a race, it's only a 2-lap caution. So a little bit different once it's at the end of a race. So hopefully these guys will not wreck and we can race this thing green to the end.
I mean, it has been impressive. You got a lot of fast cars in this field, a lot of fast guys up front, fast teams here. Just nobody's wrecked. And only one brief scare there from Christian Russell when he tried to take it 4 wide down into turn number 3, but here they go at the stripe. 3 laps to go. Brock Nelson, he took the lead about lap 18. He has not lost it since, other than for that one moment at the stripe when Durrani took it at that lap. He's got a strong car here late when it counts. Less than 3 laps to go. Durrani's there. Chase Buck is also there. Robbie Noonan sliding around. You saw him lead a lot of laps earlier. Wonder if he might have a shot to get back in the front. But here they come. Here they come to 3 and 4. 2 laps to go when they get to the stripe. Where do you want to be sitting right now if you're in this front top 5 or 6?
Honestly, I think by the looks of this race, I think Brock Nelson's going to have the best advantage. I don't think anyone's really been able to get around him here. But if they can get single file and slipstream right behind the 22, then they might have a shot. But they all got to work together to get around that 22 machine.
Yeah, they do. They got to get organized. They're running out of time. Durrani's trying to make something happen. He seems to have been the only one. He can get up to Brock Nelson. He can't get around him, but he's also doing it on his own. Here comes Robbie Noonan, though. He's in the draft. He might have a shot at this if these two get side by side. Coming to the white flag when we hit the stripe. 1 lap to go when they get there. Robbie Noonan is there. Durrani's there. Brock Nelson. It's a 3-car breakaway at the front of the field. White flag. Oh, here comes Robbie Noonan down at the bottom.
Yeah, he had so much speed there drafting off of the 38 machine, but he doesn't have anywhere to go when they're single file like this. Once they don't have a run, it's really difficult to make a pass. We'll see if Durrani tries to make it on the inside of Brock Nelson, but I think it's going to be between the 22 and the 38 for this one.
They've single filed out behind him. It's the 38, it's the 22, the Dodge, the Pontiac, through 3 and 4 for the final.
I think if Durrani makes a move here, he has a shot.
Durrani's running out of time. Out of turn number 4. He's not. They've run out of time. Give win number 1 on the season in the Body Armor Bash to Brock Nelson in the 22.
Yeah, he just had the strongest car all night, able to keep that 22 out front, and congratulations to that whole team for getting the race victory.
It's a strong drive from him. I think he started. I don't remember exactly where he started, but he did not have the best starting position. I think he started deep in the field, but he was able to, he made a lot happen there. Got himself up from back in the pack there, worked his way up, took the lead about lap 18, I believe, and from then on, just set sail. Only relinquished lead once at the stripe when Ryan Durrani briefly swiped it from him there for a lap. Robbie Noonan 3rd, not Scott Upton, Chase Buck in 4th, Scott Upton 5th. Take a look at the rest of your results here on the screen here. Brock Nelson, Ryan Durrani, Noonan, Chase Buck, Scott Upton, Equan Haslam, Colton Yo, Zachary Fitzwater, Alexander Rowe, Thomas Troxel rounds out the top 10. Let's see the rest of the results there. The entire 32-car field separated by just over 2 seconds here at the stripe. I will say it was quite surprising in a race, in a situation, where you usually see much more wrecking in these preseason races at Daytona, and in a situation where that happens, it didn't really happen tonight. It just didn't play out in that way.
Yeah, and I think, too, these are new cars. This is the first time they're getting used to these cars. They don't want to wreck them. They're expensive, quote-unquote. I mean, obviously, it's just a simulation series. But still, everyone's getting used to the series, and, I give them a lot of credit for not wrecking. They did a great job, and I think that's partly attributed to the field that we have. I think we got a lot of strong drivers in this field. So, congratulations to Brock Nelson. Great win for him there, and, yeah, that was a fun race, though. I really like the way they kind of spread out there, and they got single file. You don't tend to see that too much here, but it was all over the place here at Daytona.
No, it was a very, very exciting race there at Daytona. Felt much more, not like the calamity that we've come to grow accustomed to here in the late 2010s here. It felt much more like a mid-2000s almost plate race. Much more, passing mattered, track position mattered. You could actually maintain your lead. But that brings it here tonight, the close of the Body Armor Bash. First ever race here completed for the Body Armor Cup Series. Not a points-paying race, but still bragging rights here for the winner, Brock Nelson, Ralphin Motorsports in those Dodges. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you. It's going to be about a week or so. So today is June the 4th when you see this. Qualifying, I believe, for New Smyrna. The whole New Smyrna. The New Smyrna there, the Minute Maid 300 to kick off the season, and the Minute Maid duels. That'll set the field for the 24 cars that'll make the field for that race. Should be an exciting one. But on behalf of Benny Watson, my name is Matt Tuck. We thank you for tuning in tonight, and we will see you next time.